All right, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother Wab Rumby back with another lesson, Lord willing to be edifying. I'll start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Waha, Rakak, Kadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, a great millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord you see on the highways and byways, prophesying in the name and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Also in the correct doctrine. Also the Shalom to the one-third men, women, and children that will escape the judgment of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai by their faith. I just want to bring out another lesson through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. As you see, slavery displays removed from Philadelphia historical site after Trump directive. So Esau is trying to erase history, erase his past, his hateful and racist past. And you can't remove a past at all, man. The Lord requires a past. And you damn sure can't take away what Esau done to the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans here in Babylon the Great. And I was just watching Apostle Hall's video, and it makes a lot of sense what he was saying about a good reason why they have Esau going against the northern tribes is because through the spirit you can see that the northern and southern kingdom is coming back together, as the scripture said they would. But let's get into these videos. Got to hit a couple scriptures and Lord willing to be edifying.
It's a terrible day for American history. It's a terrible day for Independence National Historical Park. It's a terrible day for our city. Today, people from the National Park Service came out and removed all of the signage and all of the interpretive materials from the President's House site at 6th and Market Streets. I am outraged. I'm bitterly disappointed. Philadelphia stood up strongly against this move last year in many ways with rallies, demonstrations, letters sent to the Secretary of the Interior saying that this is telling the full story of American history. Slavery was part of it. If we don't commemorate it, if we don't recognize it, we're disrespecting the people who had to go through that terrible time, and we fought a whole civil war over it. So it is part of our American history, and this was telling a piece of that in Philadelphia that was very important. It was there for 15 years. It was created after years of scholarship and research to make sure we got the story right. And today, in a matter of minutes, it was all ripped down and presumably put away in storage for who knows how long.
And that's what he did. He's trying to erase his past, his wicked past. And you can't take away the past by taking away different monuments and different park museums, exhibits. And this is just a video of them doing it. But this is not going to take away what they did in the past, man. And you see right here, it says, the dirty business of slavery. And that's spiritual, man. I just caught this the second time I watched it. The dirty business of slavery. I'm gonna name it this lesson, that the dirty business of slavery. And that shameful spewing is on his glory.
In Philadelphia or everywhere?
And see, he can't wash away the past, man. I want to continue to iterate that because he feels like he don't want his the generation that's coming to know what they did to the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, man. That critical race theory. They want to get that out of the schools, so they have to take it out of these museums and different exhibits that they've done, and it won't be erased like that, man. You have to suffer for what you've done in the earth. Let me hit this real quick and we'll get back to these videos. This is Habakkuk 2. Just pull it up right here. It says, thou art filled with shameful glory. And that's what he's done. All the things, the wickedness he's done in the earth, that's a shameful thing he's done, man. And the whole world knows he was behind the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans going into slavery, man. Hardcore bondage here in Babylon the Great, man. This is their past, man. This is their glory, because Babylon has gotten rich off the backs of you blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Again, it says, thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskins be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh Shem Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. That's plain, man. And as this, I can't say he's an Edomite or not, but for what he looks like an Edomite, and he has a spirit of an Edomite to me. So let me let you see why he says, white people, we be the problem.
I'm going to say this to all of the white people as a white person. We are the problem with this country. We have been the problem since day one. Since we designed this country to benefit white people. Beating black people, lynching black people, tearing out the fetuses, using babies as alligator bait, paying Charleston to beat our slaves, to whip them and put salt in their wounds by the day. Segregation, Jim Crow, the genocide of Native Americans, the Trail of Tears, Asians in internment camps, because how dare an Asian come to America? We have to put them in camps because we have to make sure America stays white. Stealing the land from Mexico, stealing the land from the Native Americans, stealing black people on the Middle Passage. Most of you people don't even know what the hell it is, or how many people died, or about the bull sharks that followed the ships, because you don't care about actual history. Oh, hey, let's just take Hawaii. Let's go steal it from King Kamehameha. Hey, while we're at it in this great Christian nation, we're going to say that, you know what? We're a Christian nation made in the image of God. But we're just going to design it to benefit white people. Yeah, a black person's only worth 3/5 of a person. They can't vote. They don't have rights. They're not even a citizen until 100-something years later. Women? Nah. They just need to make us more white babies and fold our underwear and clean our socks and make us dinner and just serve the men. That's their job. We're not going to let them vote till the early 1900s, till the women's suffrage movement. Let's look at the Catholic Church. How many thousands of young men have abused and molested little boys? Oh, look, white people, white men. The Baptist Church, decades they covered up sexual assault, white men. Gun violence, 98% are men. The vast majority men, white men, U.S. citizens. I know it's shocking, not drag queens, not gay people, not transgenders, white men. Nothing to see here. January 6th. Whiny little children with micro penises. Mediocre white men didn't like the result of an election. And they felt so emboldened that they put a gallows up that they were going to hang the Vice President of the United States, beat officers, crush their vertebrae, PTSD, brain damage, heart attacks. Hey, they're patriots, yeah. Woohoo! But a black man has the audacity to kneel before the American flag. He's a son of a bitch. How dare him? May he burn in hell. But if you beat police officers, hey, you know what? No problem. The white man convicted felon child molester, he's going to pardon them because, you know, we're not racist at all. Every atrocity in this country has been white people. We have to admit it, people. When you go into an alcoholic meeting, what's the first thing they do? Hi, my name is XYZ, and I'm an alcoholic. And white people aren't willing to have that conversation. Do you know why? Because they don't want their privilege to go away. Right now, my wife gets mad at me because I get frustrated. You know, and I am pissed off. Because people in Minneapolis right now are getting pulled over just because they don't look white or because they have an accent. The ICE agents are making fun of the woman that they murdered. Oh, your accent isn't like mine. Prove to me that you live here. Hey, you're not white. Prove to me that you live here, that you're a citizen. And if not, I'm going to handcuff you, drag you out of your car, and I'm going to put you in jail for 9 hours, and then it's going to release you with no due process. Nothing to see here, no paperwork. And in the last election, what happened? Right? 77 million people went to the voting booth and voted for the white man. The rapist, the pedophile, convicted felon, cheats on his wife, calls women fat piggy, looks at naked girls in locker rooms, causes an insurrection, steals from cancer charities, has dinner with white supremacists, very fine people on both sides to white supremacists. Hey, yeah, I'm not racist. Oh, no. I just want to demonize the who? The immigrants. Oh, yes, the brown people. That's right. So if you're a brown person and you've been here for 30 years from Mexico and you're undocumented, which is a civil offense, we're going to zip tie you. We're going to embarrass you. We're going to handcuff you, throw you in U-Hauls, naked, rip you out of cars. But if you're a rapist and a convicted felon, and very likely a pedophile from Mexican Island, and cause an insurrection, hey, you know what? You get to be president. Let me kiss your ass, white man. That's what it is. The majority of people that voted for him are white. The only demographic that didn't vote for Zohran Mamdani were white people. The early polling in the James Tallarico race and Jasmine Crockett race, I know you're going to be shocked. The white people are going for him, and Latino men. There's a little bit of misogyny in that demographic. You don't think it's a coincidence that not just that Harris lost, but that we've never had a woman president? You know, the greatest nation in the world, the beacon of a shining hill, where you too, if you're white, you can abuse women, call women fat and ugly, complain about an election being stolen that was never stolen, cause an insurrection, cheat on your wife, assault women, and you get to be president because, you know, we're totally not racist. We are. The media has failed.
And I ain't gonna let you listen to all that, but the point is, he is shameful spewing on the glory that the Edomites have, man. And I got a video I want to play, just Charleston White. I ain't gonna put it up, but just listen to what he's saying, man. He has a way of saying things when it's about the truth, and then he got a way of saying things when it's not about the truth. But this right here is pretty much spot on. Let me see if I can get it to play. Hold on.
As bad as niggas been done in the United States of America, we used to have our mamas to make babies. The black boy used to get a bag put on his head, and all he did was he his sister. He had to his aunties. They used to breed us, homie. They used to cut our dicks off. Niggas used to have to hang and get his cut off and put in his mouth. They used to have their way with us. You think I ain't racist and I know my history? And we still getting done back. And I'm sick of how niggas get done and we can't be racist. As bad as niggas.
And see, they don't want that history to come out, that they had breeding plantations along with, you know, just regular plantations on slavery, man. But they had a plantation for everything because they treated us like animals, man. And see, that wickedness is being uncovered, man. Esau has been made bare, and he doesn't want that history to be brung up, that his kids will have to answer for their forefathers, man, and their fathers. I ain't gonna say forefathers. They're gonna have to answer them because they are their forefathers coming back. But they're gonna have to answer for their fathers' doings, man, because they are their fathers coming back. And the history, man, it can't be taken away. Now check this out, because that pure hatred that they showed for us, they're gonna be judged by that hatred, man.
Grandpa was a racist, and when I was 17 years old, my mom told him that he'd better get over it because his granddaughter was likely going to marry a black person. My grandfather disowned me. He did not speak to me again until the day that he died, when he fell asleep in his pool chair, dropped a cigarette onto the chair, And he burned alive at 92 years old.
This is the end.
If you didn't catch it, somebody posted he died a black man. So he died a black man. That's ironic. But the point is, man, that hatred was shown towards us. The Lord didn't forget about it, man. And that's just a way the Lord judged him because he thought that he was going to have hatred towards his people forever, man. Which we know all these nations had a hatred towards us, but they finna soon get over it because they're going to be in judgment, man. And that's the only reason why they have that hatred towards us is because they're in power. They're able to show hatred and racism towards us. And we're not able to do it towards them. And see, Esau didn't think he was going to be held accountable for what he's done, man. But he's soon to be held accountable for it, man. This is Exodus 21 and verse 2. Well, I can start at 1. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before thee. If thou buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. It says, if he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. Now, we had a reason why I'm bringing this scripture out right here is because we had laws on servitude, on how to govern a slave or a servant in your custody, man. Now, let me get this in NLT just to make it plain for somebody just checking out this, no, not checking it out, but reading the scripture for the first time. Because we had a way to deal with slavery, man. Because slavery is coming back, man. Believe it or not, slavery is coming back in a big way. This is Exodus 21, and I'm going to get this in NLT. Start at verse 2. It says, if you buy a Hebrew slave, he may serve for more, it says, for no more than 6 years. Set him free in the 7th year, and he will owe you nothing. It's not out. It says, owe you nothing for his freedom. It says, if he was single when he became your slave, he shall leave single. But if he was married before he became a slave, then his wife must be freed with him. And see, we had a way to govern during our servitude, man. If you had a slave, you know how to govern them. It's laws to this. It says, verse 6, it says, verse 5 again, it's locked in. Verse 4, so like I jumped all the way down. If his master gave him a wife while he was a slave, and they had sons and daughters, then only the man will be freed in the 7th year, but his wife and children shall still belong to his master. It says, but the slave may declare, I love my master, my wife, and my children. I do not want to go free. So if a man decides he had a wife in slavery, had sons and daughters, he decides he doesn't want to go free, it's right here is like it says how to govern during slavery. It's going to tell you what's going to happen if he decides not to go free and leave his children and his wife. Verse 6, it says, if he does this, his master must present him before power. Then his master must take him to the door or doorpost and publicly pierce his ear with a awl. It says, after this, the slave will serve his master forever, for life. So this is what happened if you decided to not go free after your servitude of 6 after the 7th year, and you wanted to stay with your wife and children. You would declare and say you want to not leave them and be a servant for your master forever. But dropping down to 62, this is what Esau didn't take account. And when he had us in slavery, he did not let us go. Just like in time of Pharaoh, the heathen nation, I just put it lumping all in together. Just like the heathen nations, he took after the Egyptians, the Assyrians, so on and so on and so on. He never let us go. But it's a great judgment coming for that. Dropping down to verse 16, Exodus 21, verse 16, it says, and he that stealeth a man, see, he stole us and sold him. See that? He stole us and sold us. Or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. And see, he doesn't take this into account, man, that the Lord is going to judge him for touching the apple of his eye. So if we're going to be found in Esau's hand when the Lord come back. So he's going to be judged by these law, statutes, commandments, man. He's going to surely be put to death. This is Deuteronomy 24 and verse 7. It says, if a man be found stealing any of his brethren of the children of Israel, and maketh merchandise of him, or selleth him, then that thief shall die. See that? So this is our custom, man. This is our law, statutes, commandments that the Lord put before us. And see, Esau is going to be held to the same standard for stealing the Lord's people. He's going to be put to death, man. Verse 7, one more time. If a man be found stealing any of his brethren of the children of Israel, and maketh merchandise of him, or selleth him, then that thief shall die. And thou shalt put evil away from among you. And see, that's why the Lord is going to eliminate Esau, man. Because he has to put evil away from among us, man. After that first 1,000 years, then the evil will be put away from us, man. And this is plain as we can possibly get it, man, for you to understand. Esau is going to be held accountable for what he's done to the children of Israel, man. Just like all the other nations that held us in captivity, the Lord is going to judge them the same exact way, man. There's no getting away, man. This is Amos 1 and verse 6. It says, thus saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof. And see, Gaza is getting punished now, man. The Lord didn't turn away that punishment. The Lord is let the small hats take that land because this is a part of their judgment. He says, because they carried away captive the whole captivity to deliver them up to Edom. See that? So we was given over into the Edomites' hands, man. He says, but I will send a fire on the wall of Gaza, which shall devour the palaces thereof. See that? And that's why it's totally obliterated over in that land, man. This is a part of the judgment, man. We're reading it. It says, and I will cut off the inhabitants of Ashdod, and him that holdeth the scepter, Slakia, from Ashkelon, and I will turn my hand against Ekron, and the remnant of the Philistines shall perish, saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Thus saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, for 3 transgressions of Tyre, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof. So the Lord is, you can see the Lord handing out all this judgment for all the nations that had a hand in us going into slavery, man. Psalms 83, you can start at verse 1 and read down, man. It tell you the nations that was against us. So the Lord telling you all these nations had a hand in us going into hardcore slavery here in Babylon the Great, man. So Amos 1 and verse 9 again. This is thus saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, for 3 transgressions of Tyre, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered the whole captivity to Edom, and delivered not, and remembered not the brotherly covenant. So the Lord is telling you through the Spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, they're not going to get away, man. They're not going to get away from what they done to us. And all these nations had a hand in us going into slavery, man. Every last one of them. Real quick, I'm just going to hit the point. Psalms 83 and here you go, verse 3. It says they have, it's like, we'll go to 2. It says, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. See that? All the nations took crafty counsel against us, not coming back to who our nationality is, what our nationality is, I said it wrong, what our nationality is and who our power is. He says, they have taken a crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. And see, all the nations said this, man, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And it tells you who exactly is, from Edom to the Ishmaelites, Moab, the Hagarenes, Gabal, Ammon, Amalek, Philistine, Tyre. See, the inhabitants of Tyre. See, all these nations had a hand in us going into slavery, man. It was confederate. They made a crafty counsel for us to never come back to our heritage, man. But the Lord had them in a trick bag, man. And that's why the Lord said they would not, the judgment would not be turned away. This is Joel 3. And Joel 3, and start at verse 1, it says, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations. See that? I will gather all those nations that it was in Psalms 83. I will gather all those nations. See that? And will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. See that? All those nations are being brought together to fight. This is the judgment the Lord is going to put upon them. They're going to fight to the death. It says, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And see, they parted the Lord's land now, man. And they have casted lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they may drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of the Philistines? We just read Amos. Amos 1 and 9, it says, will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me speedily, swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. See that? You can't pay the Lord back. So the Lord is going to punish them severely. What you see in the coast of the Philistines, Gaza, is being punished. It's because ye have taken my silver and my gold and carried into your temples my goodly and pleasant things. Talking about the children of Israel. And it's telling you right here, it says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, which is the northern and southern kingdoms, have ye sold unto the Grecians, which is the Edomites, man. We just read this in Amos. It says that ye might remove them far from their borders. See that? It was a crafty counsel of that land that the small hats are in now. That's our land. But they've made a crafty counsel, man, that to never let this get out, that we are the chosen people. And what they're fighting over and what they're taking over is the Lord's land, which is our land, man. So they moved us far from our border. That's why we're on the west coast of the world, man. So the Lord is telling you through the Spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man, we've been removed far from our borders, man. So we're going to be found in Esau's hand. And that's why the judgment is going to be so severe. He didn't believe the Lord was going to judge him for what he's done. Verse 7, it says, behold, I will raise them out of the place whether ye have sold them. See that? The Lord is raising us up through the Spirit to come back to our heritage, to come back to him. It says, and we'll return your recompense upon your own head. And see that? The Lord has raised us up through the Spirit to come back to our nationality, come back to our heritage, come back to him, our power. It says, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off. For Yahweh Hashem Yahushua have spoken it. So the Lord is telling through the Spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, these nations are going to go to slavery under us. especially Esau Edom. He was the first tribe that was mentioned in that crafty council. So we know for a fact that these scriptures are faithful and true because we went into slavery and we was taken from our land and brought over here. So the Lord is amazing, man. We can see the scriptures come to life because He said He was going to raise us up out of the land that He sold us in, man. This is Zechariah 8 and verse 1. He says, again, the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of hosts came to me saying, thus say Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of hosts, I was jealous for Zion with great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury. See, the Lord loves us, man. You sold His you sold His gold and His silver, man, which represents the children of Israel. It says, thus say Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, I will return unto Zion and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. And Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth. And that's what we speak about. That's what we teach. Truth. And that's the Lord raising us up out of the land we were sold in, man. It says, and the mountain of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of hosts, the holy mountain. And that's us, Zion, the memorial, coming back to our heritage. So the Lord is raising us up back from the dead, man, in that dead state, because it said in Revelations 8 and 11 that our dead bodies will be in the streets of Babylon the Great, man. So through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, we're being raised up out of the land we were sold into, man. Being found far from our borders. And it's a great judgment coming with that, man. This is Isaiah 47 in verse 6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thy hand. See that? We was given into the hands of the Edomites, man. The Lord wasn't with us, so He wanted us to go into slavery to serve our punishment for turning our backs on the law, statutes, commandments, and Him. Verse 6, one more time, He says, I was wroth with my people. I polluted my inheritance and given them into thy hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. See that? They showed us no mercy. And see, He's trying to erase that now. Taking down all the exhibits and the memorials that they set up, knowing that they had us in hardcore bondage. And see, the Lord was wroth with us now, man. See, he thought the Lord was going to be bad with us forever. He would never redeem us. He would never come back because they're not spiritual. They can't read the scriptures and see through the Spirit the Lord is just punishing us, man. Because He gave us over into the hands of the Edomites, man, into these other nations. That's why these scriptures hit so hard, man, because we can see through the Spirit. This is telling our enemies their time is up. 6, one more time, it says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thy hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. See that? They showed us no mercy. And to this very day, they're still not showing us no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And see, even our children have heavy yoke laid on them, man. Traumatized by the hand of Esau, man. This is James 2 in verse 13. It says, for he shall have judgment without mercy. See that? He's going to have judgment without mercy. That's Esau, man, in these other nations. But mainly Esau because we're going to be found in his hands, man. For he shall have judgment without mercy that showed no mercy. See that? He showed no mercy. The mercy rejoiceth against and mercy rejoiceth against judgment. He showed us no mercy, man. So this is why we are full of the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because what the Lord said will happen is going to happen, man. Because we went into slavery, and the Lord said we will go into slavery. It's written, so it's written that He will go into slavery, man. We're patiently waiting for the Lord to return. This is Psalms 149 and verse 7. It says, no, verse 5, Salakia. I got to go one more just to hit the point. Verse 4, it says, for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua taketh pleasure in his people. See that? The Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. See that? We're patiently waiting on our power, man. His inheritance. It says, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing along aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of power be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. And see that? And that's why you see the men of the Lord boldly speaking this truth, man. It says to execute vengeance upon the heathen. See that? All these nations are going to feel the wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. It says to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with feathers of iron. To execute upon them the judgment written. See that? This is the judgment written for our enemies to feel the wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. And that's through his men. It says to execute upon them the judgments written. This honor have all his saints. Praise you, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So it's going to be an honor to put our enemies into captivity. And just like we went into hardcore bondage and served our enemies, so they will serve us, man. The wrath is upon him. This is Revelation 13, 9 and 10. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. See, the judgment's written. If you have an ear, let you hear it. The judgment's written. It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And what we just read in Psalms 149, man. To put your kings and your nobles into those chains, man. This is what the saints are waiting on, man. The hopeful elect. Lord willing, I'm a part of that number, man. This is what we're patiently waiting on, man. Because these Edomites don't have a clue that they're going into hardcore bondage, man. One more time. Psalms 149 and verse 9. It says, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. See that? This is an honor to do this. All the saints are patiently waiting. The hopeful elect are patiently waiting to do the Lord's will, man. And these Edomites don't have a clue that their day is over. And their day of captivity is near. Let me finish you with this.
First of all, white people come fucking first. Understand that. Then the fucking minorities come. Okay?
Oh, the minorities.
Yeah.
Oh, the minority.
Yeah, the minority.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not a racist. You're
No, I'm not a fucking racist.
No, you're not a racist.
No, I'm not a fucking racist.
See, they don't know that their time is up. They don't have a clue that their time is up.
I'm not a fucking nigga. Look at me.
See, it's man. It's I made it there, Lord, when it was edifying. Shalom, shalom.